Hi everyone, Tony from Act Movies here with
Kait from allgeektome.net.
Yep, and today we're here to talk about the XFiles. That's not the theme. That's not the theme at all. We're talking about it today. We're going to talk about seasons 1 to 3. We're going to pick and choose our best and worst from each season.
Okay.
And hopefully you guys agree. If not, feel free to yell at us in the comments. We will not read them.
That's never stopped anyone before. My favorite episode of season 1 would be Beyond the Sea. Because it's the first time that you're actually aware that Mulder is a dick. Mm-hmm. Because you're kind of blinded by his 90s beauty. Oh my god. Like right now, I'm just kind of glazing over. But I think it's a strong Scully episode because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. And before it's been all like, Mulder, my sister, my dad, my mom, Smoky Man, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it's like, now we're getting to learn a little bit more about Scully. Yeah. And an interesting aspect is it's about, they're called in for a serial killer that now is linked to a man is on death row. He can
played by Brad Dourif from Child's Play and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and Lord of the Rings fame.
Mulder not automatically, but very quickly was like, oh, he's a scam. And because Mulder says so, we're all supposed to be like, yeah, you're right, Mulder. He is a scam.
Yeah, so Mulder gets mad when he thinks something's fake and everyone thinks it's real. Yeah. But
especially Scully. Like, he's just like, you're an idiot.
If it's the other way around, then...
Oh, God forbid. But Scully is drawn to the inmate because her father just recently passed away, and he's now saying things that only her and her father would know. So it's an interesting Scully episode.
Yeah, it really introduced like her issues with faith and stuff that was explored later on in the series.
Like almost in every episode.
Yeah, led to some really good episodes.
Not so good.
I feel like they should have ended it when she met the weird angel that changed faces, but they kept going and then it got annoying. But this is a really good start. My favorite episode of season 1. It's a simple, quick episode. EBE. It's the one where Deep Throat, Mulder's informant, purposely leads them on a wild goose chase to look for a UFO that's in a truck or something.
I just can picture like Deep Throat like in his apartment being like, now go here.
He'll believe this shit.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where he gives them like the fake pictures too?
Yeah. It's very elaborate.
Yeah, it's a show that like even though Deep Throat's helping him, he still has people watching him. Mm-hmm. So he has to like purposely lead Mulder off and say like. That's how he gets away with giving Mulder information, by saying he's leading him on a wild goose chase and stuff. Yeah. So I thought that was a really cool twist in like the middle of the season, I think. So I thought that was really cool.
Arguably the worst episode ever, maybe even in television history. Most definitely X-Files is Gender Bender. Like, it's the episode no one wants to talk about, and it's Gender Bender. It's about a group of Amish people who are able to bend their gender and have the opposite sex, or I don't know, they could have the same sex, I don't know, whatever your preference is, and by simply going like this,
they can then turn into...
it makes the other person want, take their clothes off, take me right here, kind of mentality, like, very odd. Yeah. And then they're reborn in a goo, in like a honeycomb, under a barn. It's very odd.
It's pretty terrible. I hate the episode. Right from the beginning, they have an actress playing dead who's blinking. So you know you're just in store for a bad episode. Yeah. The only positive is that Nicholas Lee is in it, and then they brought him back as a different character who ended up being my favorite character.
It ends with them being going off in a spaceship, and they're like, oh,
yeah, I was gonna say at the end they didn't know how to end the episode,
so they were just like,
they just decided that they're aliens. The real worst episode is Space, the episode that Chris Carter, the man who made season 8, 9, and the second movie, even he's on record saying that is the worst X-Files related thing in history.
I don't know.
It's mostly footage. It's mostly Mulder and Scully get called to NASA to investigate something. Someone thinks like a ship was purposely tampered with. Yeah. And you find out it's this like NASA, the head of NASA who is possessed by the face on Mars. Most of the episode is Mulder and Scully sitting in mission control watching stock footage on the screen. Yeah. That's it.
When the head of he's the head of NASA. Yeah. Goes to die, and like the the ghost alien.
They tried to put the face.
Out, yeah.
They tried to put the face on Mars on him.
top of his face, but like you could still see his. So you're like seeing the like one eye here and the other one, and it's just like he's just laying. It was weird.
What's your favorite episode in season 2?
I mean, for me, my favorite episode in season 2 is simply just due to the fact of my blind affection for 90s Mulder, would be Dwayne Barry. Just because there's literally, I don't even think it's 30 seconds, but he's just swimming in the pool and he climbs out of the ladder and he's in a Speedo and he's just wet and beautiful and it was just...
Okay, so the cool invasion, the alien abduction scene in the beginning, nothing... That has nothing, you don't care about it, you just care about him coming out.
Yeah.
My favorite episode is Humbug, with the circus freaks being attacked by a killer. I really love that episode. It's really funny. They make fun of Mulder's superhero stance at one point.
Yeah, it's another... Well, they just make fun of how perfect he is as a specimen.
Yeah. So it's like a bunch of circus freaks. You know, they're regular, normal people.
Even the police chief is an old circus freak.
Someone keeps murdering them. They don't know if it's within the group, if it's like an outsider who's trying to kill them. Turns out it's got a really cool twist and a really cool practical puppet effect. Mm-hmm. Love everything about that episode.
It's just
best
like
of season 2.
A great one-off comedy.
Yeah. Which is the favorite for me.
Yeah, I like episodes. The comedy one-offs are probably the strongest.
Yeah.
My least favorite, and I know you're going to disagree, and I know probably a lot of people are going to disagree, is the host, because it's freaking disgusting to think that there's a slime ball, like, eating my shit somewhere. Like, I just don't, like, I know it probably is happening, but, like, I don't...
It's one of the best episodes.
No,
like,
it's disgusting.
Like, I can pull up a dozen top 10 xFiles lists, and that would be everyone's favorite.
He's like a mummy-looking poop eater. So.
I really like it. I really like Host. Agree to disagree on that one. Okay. The real worst episode is 3. Where Mulder just screws around California, I think, and has to deal with a bunch of
Mulder's
vampires.
Mulder's having a little issues now because Scully is missing still.
For me, it felt like a softcore porn, and David Duchovny was in the softcore porn series Red Shoe Diaries, so it felt like that.
I mean, I could see that happening.
With really lusty vampires, and Mulder's fallen in love with the one vampire.
I'm surprised that vampires were only brought up once.
No, twice. Bad Blood.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite, it's not my favorite, but we flipped a coin and you won. So, my favorite for the purposes of this episode is Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose. Mm-hmm. I think I said that right. Starring Peter Boyle as a psychic, and there's a killer that's going around killing psychic people. He wants to know why he's crazy or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's not just a psychic, he can only see when people die.
Yeah, like they do like a cool effect where like, don't they go black and white?
Yeah. It leads to your fan theory that Scully's immortal.
Yeah, it's one of the origin story-esque of this fan theory that Scully is indeed immortal. I mean, she has aged brilliantly, so it's possible.
Yeah. She's still noticeably aged, though, so there's that.
Where Scully does ask Clyde how she's going to die, and he says, "You're not." And then there's a later episode in another season. Yeah,
where some guy might have passed immortality on her.
Yeah, so we don't know.
Let's talk about your favorite episode, which is actually my favorite episode, but you'll talk about it.
I think it's a lot of people's favorite episode.
It should be everybody's favorite episode.
The first 2 seasons, and until this point, were a little bit rough to get into, and I think this was like what cemented me on being and it was Jose Chung's From Outer Space.
So good.
Which is
so good.
Kind of like an episode within an episode, because it's about this author wants to write a book about basically what Mulder and Scully do, and Mulder for some odd reason finds pride in being an asshole and being like, well, you're just going to make fun of me, so I'm not going to help you kind of aspect. Whereas Scully...
Everyone makes fun of Mulder, but this one time he's annoyed by it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you're... Okay. So Scully helps Jose Chung because she's a fan of his work.
The military were pretending to be aliens. They were using alien crafts and dressing their pilots up like aliens, and they were going to abduct people.
Yeah.
The one time it happens, apparently an actual alien showed up and interrupted the whole thing, and things got messed up.
Yeah.
There's a whole hypnotism thing behind it, which is a big theory, and they play on it in like later seasons where like the government kidnaps people and has them think that it's an alien abduction.
Yeah, but it's not.
Just to cover their tracks. And I thought that was a really cool, interesting fact. Like, I like when the guy's in the diner just going crazy. He's like, I don't even know if I'm talking to you right now. One of my favorite gags in it is the cop who curses all the time.
Yeah.
And they have to bleep him out. They make him say the word bleep. I love Lord Kimboat, the alien, who looks like a Ray Harryhausen stop motion effect. I love the cameos in it.
There's a lot of cameos in this episode.
Alex Trebek, Jesse Ventura, just all around great episode. Anyway, what's your least favorite episode?
I mean, I guess it'd just be DPO.
Oh yeah.
My thing is the guy, Phoebe's brother from Friends.
Giovanni Ribisi.
He said it like 25 times. And he plays such a perfect creep.
He is a really good creep.
Just disturbed me. Like I could picture him like sitting in his room, fantasizing about his boss's wife, and like just being like.
I think you're just upset that he kills Jack Black.
Yeah, because I mean, I do like Jack Black, and I think this is like. Jack Black looks good in this episode. I'm not gonna lie. I think young Jack Black wasn't bad looking.
He looks better than Seth Green did in the second episode.
Yeah, that was frightening.
The Hell Money. Yeah, which barely even counts. What was the X-File on that again? They played a game and then they harvested organs.
But it had something to do with a card in the game would be given.
Was it just because they were Asian they counted as an X-File?
I don't think that was it. I think there was some kind of.
All I know is it's one of the most boring episodes, and I skip over it every time I binge.
I mean, you're not gaining anything from watching it, and you're not losing anything from not watching it.
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, that was our recap of the best and worst of seasons 1 to 3. Hopefully, we'll come back. We'll talk about 4 to 6.
Sure. Yeah. If you're gonna do it that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe
3 episodes. Yeah.
Maybe work in the movie in there somewhere. At some point. We'll count that as one big episode. And, so let us know if you agree or disagree with us. You probably all disagree with Kait not liking the host, in which case I agree with you. Anyway, like and subscribe. Leave some comments on what your favorite and least favorite episodes are for the first 3 seasons. We'll get into the other ones later. Bye.
No, I want you to tell me all of them from the other seasons. Please add. Just I don't want anything to do with what we just talked about.
Okay, never mind. Just tell us your favorite Fringe episode. How about that?
Yeah,
How about that?
Or Supernatural.
Fringe and Supernatural. Yeah, let's just go off track.
Do you like Sam or Dean?
Sex and the City. Who's your favorite character on that? Just anything. Yeah. Just comment on the goddamn video. Bye. My favorite episode is Humbug. I really love this episode. I'm dying.